Tonight, I poo my pants.
I've pooed myself about 5 times.
Get lost in the snow.
Google, because this is what I'm currently driving through.
And pretend to be asleep. This is Vladimir. He is a Honda Vamos Turbo. First introduced in June 1999, it's a 660cc four-wheel drive K-van. What it doesn't have in power, it makes up for in copious amounts of boot space. It's true that Vladimir has certainly seen better days, but it's not his mechanics that we're going to upgrade today, but rather his functionality. Of course, in order for that to be the case, we do have to empty the boot of the cardboard that's been sat there for about 3 months.
When I first came to Japan, I decided that I was going to explore as much of it as possible. 6 months in, and my travel map looks a little like this. So, what went wrong? Why haven't I traveled as much as I said I was going to? Well, the reason's pretty simple. Travel and lodging.
See, despite the fact that public transport in Japan is very good, I don't live anywhere near most of those connections. In order for me to get to the nearest large train station, I first have to drive to the next town over, then get a ticket on one of the most expensive train lines in the country in order to get to the city that has an actual train station that connects you to other places around Japan. And those tickets are not that cheap. I could drive to these places, but I still have the problem of lodging. If I want to book a hotel, that's going to be expensive. If I want to book even a capsule hotel, it still costs quite a lot of money, and they're not everywhere, largely focused around population centers. So 2 problems can be dealt with in one strategy. Today, I'm going to be upgrading Vladimir, my Honda Vamos Turbo. Vladimir is a mighty machine, and we're going to equip him with some camping gear so that I can fold the back seats down and take a kip if I go for a new exploration activity into a nearby prefecture, which I am planning to do very shortly in about 2 weeks' time, hopefully going to Shizuoka.
I appear to have found Japan's secret rocket project. I actually think that's a house. Now, I don't particularly know what I'm doing, but Montbell was one of the names that came up when I looked up where to go for camping equipment, so I think this might be the right place. From a distance, I genuinely thought someone was stood very strangely outside the store. Do not always trust Google, because this is what I'm currently driving through. And the roads are very, very sketchy. And I'm running out of fuel. And I've made an error. I'm seeing parts of the village that I've never seen before, and the colourful smattering of roofs along this valley in the mountains is truly incredible. And I'm so glad that the ground is no longer frozen where I am.
Thank God I made it home, because that journey was horrifying, terrifying. I've pooed myself about 5 times. The thing about it was that there was snow and ice on the road, and rocks on the road, and branches of trees on the road, and in parts of the journey there were no barriers to stop you falling off the side of the mountain. So it's no surprise that most of the snow turned brown, because it leaked out of this car, which is indeed not fully waterproof.
Now then, plenty of space in the back. All I have to do is pull these chairs forward, and we should be fine. So I think this little device here pulls the chair forward, and as you can see, we have a okay, so I did not predict that these would not be flat. Okay, only I could make a mistake. This stupid. Here we are again, back in this situation, but if you see, there is a small clasp around here that if I pull, I can push the chair forward like that, giving me a much wider range. Of course, this gigantic set of bubbles in the ground could cause me the most amount of discomfort known to man, but that's something we're going to have to experiment with. Now then, let's take a look and see what we bought. A pair of trekking socks. A second pair of trekking socks, though it does say support tech. This is a blow-up bag. Now it calls it a pump stuff bag, but that sounds quite rude. This is going to be our mat upon which we sleep, and it can only be blown up with this puff bag, because I went to the desk with an electric blowy uppy machine and was told that it would not work. And then finally, the piece de la resistance, the sleeping bag, which is rated down to minus 11 degrees, which is what we're probably going to need at the moment because it is absolutely freezing in Japan as we speak. Oh, and a small towel.
Ah, I can see a spot there where Vladimir is quite literally going to let the cold in. That's a good start. You'll notice that the car has a big advantage. The windows are tinted and incredibly dirty, which means only about 50% of the light is actually going to get into this vehicle, which is fantastic because it means I should be able to sleep quite soundly. Now then, this bag is the mat upon which I shall be sleeping, and I know for sure that I will never again get it in such a pristine state of being packaged, so look forward to the process of me now testing out my little satchel bag thing. Pillow strap. Ah, that is one thing. I will need to buy a pillow. Well, I say buy a pillow, I will just use a pillow I have from my home. So, as you can see, it unfolds. I got the 180 centimeter one, so it's quite long. I'm hoping it fits in here. Hold on, let's do a quick test. Yes, it might just fit or curl in on itself. It also has these bits where you can kind of connect them into itself. What we have to do is we have to blow it up, and it has this little blowy section here, but I can't do it under normal circumstances. It's going to have to be with the so eloquently named pump stuff bag. But I don't know where I've put my scissors. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. There's a... Aha! So he demonstrated how to use it, and it was all, of course, in Japanese, but my friend has used one of these before. Silica packet. So on the lid here is a lid. That's an excellent explanation. And this should just be able to slot into the equivalent on this device here. So as you can see, if I open this, oh, booyah. This should just go into here, I think. Yes, it does. Now, there is no sort of pump system. It's more of a peculiar thing that campers like doing, which is manual labour. I've got to kind of like take this bag. I maybe should have got the bigger bag. I've made a mistake here. And then you kind of like catch some air in it. And then as you catch some air, this is awful. Why have I done this? As you catch air, you can kind of like roll it up like this. And then once you've rolled it, the air can't escape except anywhere into the device that you are blowing up. Yes! Air is entering into the mat. And as you can see, it fits perfectly. Without flaw. Okay, now I have the challenge of actually getting into the sleeping bag. Luckily, it has a very big zip that goes down the side. Now, this is I think it's called a down sleeping bag, which means it's actually very good. We should call it an up sleeping bag instead. This is going to be difficult without much space above or below. That's okay, folks. We got this. I'm wriggling. Yes. Superb. Well worth the... How much money was this? £100? A goddamn sleeping bag.
but I'm sure it's good quality. Provided I don't mess it up. Oh my god. You know what, folks? It works! Now, as well, there is a hood on this. Hold on, let's see if I can get a better angle. Oh no, I'm trapped. Okay. Effecto Mundo. Right. Hood. We can take the hat off. Ah. How does this work? There is a hood on here, I swear. Oh! I'm in! I'm like a caterpillar. Now, oh no. As you could see, while the mat doesn't fit quite properly, I am a human and am very capable of bending my legs. And this little platform here has actually provided me a spot to put my pillow. And I actually quite like having my head a little bit higher than the ground when I use my pillow. So if I wiggle myself, I've actually got a decent amount of room. My knees are slightly bent, but not bent that much. This is also a very, very warm sleeping bag. Now, if I wiggle the other way, not quite as comfortable. So the optimal comfort position is like this. Now, I'm just going to do a very quick sleeping test and pretend to be asleep. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that. This was a genius idea. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. How do I get out? Right, the single worst part about using a sleeping bag is always putting it away. And I didn't check how it was put away in the first place, so I actually can't remember how I'm supposed to do this. I imagine a cheeky fold. Oh god, it's full of air. I reckon if we just kind of what if we just don't worry about it? It's already bigger than we started. What is the technique for this? Chris, help me. He is my camping buddy. And to be honest, he'd probably be quite proud I bought all this and spent so much money on it. But he's probably a little disappointed that I'll only be using it in my car. I don't understand. You know what, look at this, look what I've done. I need to try and get the air out of it. It's like doing judo with a sleeping bag. Now I have to try and wrangle it into this bag. Okay. As long as you can fit the engine. Oh yes, I'm too good at this. Squeeze it in. What I've just done is shove part of it in and not the rest. Got it. It's filling up with air again. Get in. There comes a point in every man's life when just trying harder is the answer. Yeah. Okay, watch this. Oh my god, I'm too good. I'm too good. Behold. Fantastic as it has as many rolls as I do. And it is vomiting itself back up. How to undo the thing that you sleep on, I actually don't know. And I haven't read the instructions, so I assume something to do with this hole. Then maybe... Ah-ha-ha! Perfect. I am so good at camping. Now, of course, the final test to make sure that all the money I just spent is worth it would be to go and sleep in the back of Vladimir. However,
I shan't be doing that for another 2 weeks, so look forward to when I go to Shizuoka.